Okay, guys, welcome back. It's your boy Joe Hawk and your boy Red Snowshoe, aka Cuisine. Welcome back to another live stream. We'll be doing another tier list. And this time, the tier list is basically all the changes in MapleStory Classic that we've discovered so far through the MapleCon playtesting and the live playtesting that's going on currently up until February 13th. Welcome back. Happy Friday. It's been your boy Joe Hawk. It's been your boy Cuisine, and I got one more thing before we begin on this. If you want to interact with me and our opinions on the channel Joe Hawk, the best place to do it is through my YouTube Shorts. I've been posting a short every day for a bit now. So you want to get my input on things? Be sure to check out the Shorts. Be sure to check out the Discord, and I guess we can begin.
Hello?
Cuisine?
Hi guys. Hello.
What's up? What's up, man? It's been a while.
Hello guys. I'm very excited to be doing this live stream with you all. Happy Friday night, everyone.
All right, Mickey Mouse. So do you know what's going on, man? You want me to start this off or what?
Yeah, I think we had that live stream last Friday. Been doing this for a while. You and I just every Friday night talking together for an hour and a half for 2 hours, and from the live stream last Friday, it's more conceptual, like just looking at all the changes and more so concerned about the classic factor of the game. But overall, I think it's very important for us to clarify that we're not trying to come off as doomers, like all the changes they make are
No.
bad. There's definitely some changes that's very, very good. So we want to try to, keep an open mind, look at everything that they've done, and rank all the changes that we've seen so far, just like Joe Hawk said. So maybe you want to give us like a quick breeze through on all the things that we'll be
Sure.
covering, or do you want to just jump right through?
Sure. I mean, I'll just give you a quick rundown of all the little points that I have here. Okay, so there's a couple stat changes in Classic Maple. There's a lot of skill changes for each class in Classic Maple. We'll be going over through those. There's a couple nerfs. There's a couple buffs. EXP is a little bit changed. The party is a little bit changed. FM is back. There's some things that were classic to Maple that don't exist. We want to talk about the impact of people like Inkwell and Nemi. No HP washing, the Dexless in, the Luckless Mage, and just the community itself. That's what we have listed here. And I've kind of like ordered it in a way, so I think we'll just go chronologically. I think this is a good idea. And I mean, I'm ready to begin whenever you are, man.
All right, man. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna start just from the left to right then.
Yeah, from the left to right, and
Alright.
yeah, I'll begin. So with the first one I have here is the speed and jump buff. So what this basically means is, you know how in MapleStory, the OG MapleStory, you get 100% speed and 100% jump, and then you need to get more speed and jump either through equipment or through your skills.
Mm-hmm.
So in Maple Classic, I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but I believe you get like 10 speed and 5 jump. So your base speed is not 100 anymore, it's like 110-ish. And that applies to every single character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought I'd start it off there. It's a bit of a change. The one thing that I'd like mention through that is like if this is the case, I feel like all the jump quests get easier. Because I feel like the jump quests in Old Maple were designed for 100 speed and 100 jump.
Yeah, I think, it's funny that you start off with this change because while this is something that's so minute in the gameplay, and just for reference, guys, if you don't know what 110% speed equates to, it's pretty much nimble feet, right, Joe Hawk, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken? Like,
yeah,
just perma nimble feet.
you're right.
Even though it doesn't break the gameplay or improve it too much in any way, it's not like everyone has perma haste at 140%. It really speaks to their design philosophy with all the changes they're making, which it's kind of a bit of a metaphor, I guess, where they're not trying to absolutely break the game and make it so everyone's super fast, but at the same time, I think you're going to see a lot of the patterning that they're doing here, which is putting training wheel on the changes that they're making,
Training
making the
wheels.
game
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just a little bit easier, right?
Yeah. There's an
What do I feel about
argument.
this change?
Yeah, so sorry.
No, 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 go ahead.
It's just the training wheel thing really hit a chord there because, like, I feel like the people who haven't played would appreciate it. You know what I mean? But then the people who have been playing are be like, that's weird. Like I wonder why they'll notice that change, if that makes sense. So I think it's very dependent on whether you've played the game before or you're starting completely fresh. Maybe you've come from like modern MapleStory or something.
I want to just get this off my chest
Yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
we get into it because it's gonna speak to a lot of what we're doing. And like myself, I played MapleStory pretty much my whole life. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I play One Piece now. It's like card
Mm.
games. Some of you might relate. Join our Asahi Discord server. We talk a lot of card games there, aside
Yes,
from
sir.
MapleStory. But I recently got into Magic, more so about looking at the whole ecosystem of Magic the Gathering and how from an outsider looking in, like how Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast runs the card game, as well as how the players have interacted with it. And exploring this, just the whole process, myself as an outsider, really makes me feel like I am kind of not really falling into a trap, but reacting to the changes that Nexon is making as a person who has been playing the game for a long time. The reason why I say this is that, for example, right, with Magic the Gathering, there's this thing called Universes Beyond, where Magic tries to bring in IPs from other franchises like Sega with Sonic, Marvel,
Really,
Avatar,
Sonic?
Spider-Man, Final Fantasy, like a bunch of crossovers. SpongeBob is in there as well. And for an outsider who doesn't play Magic the Gathering, like I've had no previous experience with
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering, but recently I got interested because I'm like, wow, there's all these cool IPs that's being overlaid and crossbreeded with Magic the Gathering. Let me jump in and build a couple Spider-Man decks, for example.
Right.
So me as an outsider, I'm very excited for these changes that Hasbro is introducing. However, I see so many long form videos and shorts and just Reddits of people complaining, like existing Magic the Gathering players for like 20, 25 years. They're like, oh, Hasbro, give us Magic back. Like nothing is in universe anymore. Everything has changed. Like there's all these new, whatever. They're trying to bring in the Poke Bros or whatever. And I don't see myself as a Poke Bro because I don't intend to invest in the cards. It's just interesting for me.
It's a
So
hobby.
I'd say that whole tangent to say that some of these things that I feel so personally attacked by, like for example,
Uh-huh.
well, there's more bigger offenders down the list, but changing something so fundamental, like increasing your movement speed to 110,
Mm.
what this essentially means is that you're never gonna be able to relive the original classic experience anymore unless you go play another server. But having this flagship old school MapleStory world
Yeah.
called a classic world,
Yeah.
you're gonna expect to be able to relive one to one, if not one to one, at least it's like a expansion pack, for example.
Yeah.
But changing something so fundamental as the movement speed, for me, I don't love it,
Mm.
but I'm pretty sure for your casual players or players that's just newly approaching the game, they'll probably like it. They probably will be like, wait, how come thieves get haste and I gotta stick with this 110? They will never understand what it's like when we all had 100% and you had to max nimble feet, you had to max triple throw snails or whatever it is. I just wanted to rant there. Like I understand,
Yeah.
myself as a lifelong MapleStory player, this is how I feel. But at the same time, it doesn't make this a bad change.
It's not a bad change. Well, objectively speaking, it's not a bad change, but people might not feel that great. It's kind of like, how back then it was level 200 and then they changed the level to 250 and now it's 300. Imagine how the old level 200 feel. You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, so I'm not top 1 anymore?" You know what I'm saying? Fangblade's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm not top 1 anymore. I guess I'll piss off now, I guess, you know?" I kind of feel like
Yeah.
that's what you're getting at here is just what you remember won't come back, whether it's a good
Exactly.
thing or
Because
not.
like I think you hit the nail on the head. Like if I was Fangblade right now, I'd probably hate every single change that they made to the game because my prime, my peak existed in the area. My peak existed in an era that's way bygone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
for me as Fangblade, wanting to bring that back and expect everyone else to play the game the way I did, like, dude, back in Fangblade's time, if you roll that exact environment out, like, no one's gonna be playing your game because you gotta be a freaking Fangblade or a Niru to be able to put up with that EXP rate, the movement speed, whatever, whatever. And so I'm just gonna get to the point here.
Yeah.
I personally despise this change just on a
This
very
one.
fundamental molecular level,
All
but
right.
I think that goes into A because I think a
Wow.
lot of people the people that Nexon is trying to capture with this, right? Again, just rehashing to our last video, you have some people that play private server right now who's kind of like, yeah, whatever. They'll try it out. If they like it, they like it. But the most important people are people who aren't spending any money with Nexon right now. They're not part of that MapleStory ecosystem. So you bring these people back. You want to make sure there is sufficient training wheel for these people to find the game interesting enough to stick around. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
think A is pretty safe because people will appreciate, oh yeah, walk a little bit faster. I don't know if you have it on this list, but let's say EXP is now 2x. Like I'm pretty sure that will go into A as well because,
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah,
appreciate it.
definitely. I don't have it in. Well, I kind of talk about EXP, but not that. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised you put it in A after kind of going on that passionate rant just now.
I know I don't represent everyone.
I was thinking maybe it'd be lower, but I actually have to agree with you. I think speed, bonus speed, and jump is just always nice. Like, there's probably more frustration that comes from having low movement than there are, good things about having low movement, right? And if they really wanted, they could make jump and speed go back to vanilla during like jump quests, like they do in Zakum. You know how if you go inside the Zakum jump quest, you whether you have haste on or not, you're always at 100, right?
Hmm.
So it can be
Yeah.
tweaked. Overall, though, I think it's a great change. Moving on. We good to move on?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Good
All
to go.
right. So next up, I have class changes. I would have put all the classes like the subclasses, Spearman, uh, Crusader, White Knight, but I thought we'd just like make it simple and divide them into subclasses. I know Pirate isn't here. That's because Pirate is not going to be out. We might see Pirate in the future, but as of the release of this video, there's no Pirate speculation currently going
Hmm.
on with Classic Maple. So I'm going to start off with Warrior. There's a couple things that changed with Warrior. Some of the more important ones are the mastery of the Warrior. I don't know if you've seen those screenshots, but like Warriors get like 300 to 350 range on their on their damage. Before it
Yeah.
would be like a lot lower, maybe the half of that. So they buffed warriors a lot in that sense. They also buffed warriors by giving a lot of accuracy in their skills. I think there's a first drop skill called Precise Strike that gives like something crazy like 50 accuracy. They all warriors also get crit, right? I think every class now gets crit. So
Mm.
there are a couple of changes like that. Um, Hero gets a buffed rage. We don't know for sure because like the attack stat formula or whatever. But Hero gets the axe mastery, which you're like Darius and you bleed.
Yeah.
That's kind of like fire poisons, poison damage over time. Paladin gets the stun. When the chance to stun, which seems like a bit of a weird nerf, honestly. I know you mentioned you didn't like the stun changes on the page, and Spearman got a nerf in Hyper Body. Hyper Body now gives 30% max HP instead of 60, and you don't get max MP anymore with Hyper Body. So that's a bit of
Hmm.
a nerf on the Warrior on the Spearman side. And finally, final attack from what we've all gathered is still garbage. So there's still the notion that you shouldn't max final attack because it's just weird. It's like an active now, and it's not even like it doesn't hit multiple mobs. It just hits one. So if that's
Yeah.
the case, I think it's pretty shit. But what do you think? From what I said, what are your stances on the Warriors so far?
It's pretty divisive. I mean, you guys in chat might know I am like a lifelong warrior player. Like it doesn't matter what
And this
server
guy's
I
a
play.
hero main. This guy's a hero main
If I
in retail, and hero main in every fucking game he plays.
if I'm playing the server, I'm playing a hero. And if I somehow convince myself to not play a hero, like for example with Artail, I'm like, Cuisine man, you've always wanted to be a Dragon Knight. Why don't you just play a Dragon Knight? I couldn't even get past second drop. Like I have to play a hero. And so the hero buffs, I am a huge fan of. Like overall, the mastery buff is huge. The only thing that I could say that I don't like is how again they're stripping away the hyper body identity of Spearmans. I think that is a
That's a
huge
big
like
issue. It's
kick
a
in the face.
big issue. A lot of people who wanted to go Dragon Knight aren't going Dragon Knight anymore because of Hyper
Yeah,
Body.
so it's difficult, and I think, Johag, like you and I, right? Maybe we have like a sub discussion right now because where do you see Nexon trying to head to with all these changes? Like, of course, everyone's gonna be doing PQs and just leveling and grinding in these
Uh
stages,
huh.
but ultimately, I think where the game wants to get to
Uh,
after third job is out, tail end of third job, fourth job, right? It's bossing. And the feeling that I'm getting from them right now is again, the training wheel mentality is very present. They're taking a bit of Warriors' identity away, which is their tankiness and their HP, and they're
mm-hmm.
spreading it across all the classes.
Mm,
But at the same time, they're making it up with their mastery, they're making it up with their accuracy,
mm,
right? So it makes every single class just a little bit more homogenous with each other,
yeah.
but still preserving their identity. Like it's not like warriors now getting
They're
ranged
they're not
attacks still.
they're not completely getting rid of what makes the class. But like they're
Exactly.
chipping
And
away at it, you know?
they're chipping away at it. But with that being said, like I understand the direction. I kind of agree. Like if they are to launch this game in 2026, fingers
Mm,
crossed, not
mm,
2027, they will need to
no.
make some of these changes to attract more players and maximize their changes of being successful.
Yeah.
It's just that Dark Knights got the worst end of the stick. Like they pretty much sacrificed their whole identity just for other classes to be able to play normally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love the hero changes. I love the page changes. So I think the way you have it here, where all three classes combine into one, it's so hard for me to rate them. Like if it was up to me, I'd probably give them like a very conservative B rating. Like some are good, some are bad.
Yeah. I'm down to
I
put it here because I was thinking B the whole time for Warrior. I feel like a
You would think.
Warrior. I think if anything, Warriors actually like if this was old school MS, we'd put it here. Like let's say
Yeah.
nothing changed, we'd put it here. But like with all the changes combined, I'd say Warriors are in a better standing than they were before. But you got to realize Warrior is the only class in the game that is ranged or not ranged. It's melee.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what they give them, Warriors are gonna suffer through Classic Maple. They're not gonna be invited to like parties. They're probably just gonna be soloing a lot of the stuff. But then again,
You
like
think so?
I think
You think so?
so.
But they have such a huge like slash blast of six monsters though.
I mean that is nice, but that would just more incentivize for somebody to just solo. Because like if you're in a party in MapleStory Classic and the mob spawn in MapleStory Classic is pretty abysmal from what I've seen, no one's gonna really want
Oh,
to
you're
split
right.
EXP with
True.
you because you're gonna be on the bottom floors getting like maybe one or two mobs every 10 seconds. So uh, I'm down to just put it at B for now. We can all it's can always subject to change.
Sure. Let's put it
Um,
at B.
and
Yo, Idosa Movik says, arguably Nilord's got the shortest end of the stick. Hey, we gonna get to
we
that,
gonna
man.
get there. Hey, we gonna get there. We gonna get there for sure. And another thing to note is this is only second job. We
This is
don't
only up to
know
second.
third job. We don't know fourth job. And once those two come out, we'll definitely come back to this tier list and revise things. But for now, we'll put it at B.
Yeah.
And we'll move on. We'll move on to the magician changes. I guess I have a lot to say about the magician. I think out of all the old school Maple classes, magicians I have the most fondness with, second to the thief. Um, so the two classes that kind of got nerfed are Ice Lightning and Cleric. Ice Lightning got nerfed because I think a lot of the mobs hit now went from 6 to 4. So you used to be able to hit 6 mobs back then with your skills, but now it's like 4 or something like that. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about anything. Fire Poison got buffed because now not only does the poison do splash damage, like the poison bubble thing, the single target second job skill, that spreads now, and poison can actually kill. It doesn't leave mobs at level like at 1 HP. And the fire arrow, fire attribute also burns. So just the whole class is just a DOT class. So I feel like fire poison will be very popular in classic Maple. And as for the priest, if you know what happened to the priest, man, the priest got nerfed. Heal got nerfed by 2/3, right? So level 1 heal is now like level 30 heal in classic Maple is the same as level 1 heal in regular like old school MapleStory. So heal got nerfed. It's pretty much confirmed. But magicians are still magicians, is my point. You know what I mean? Like they're still gonna be the best farmers in the game. They're gonna be the most versatile. Besides bossing, I feel like the magicians will still kind of keep its identity and be pretty popular in from what I'm guessing, at least from what I've seen so far. Do you have any? Do you have anything to say to that or to add on to
Yeah,
that?
I think the biggest thing, I'm not sure how many of this is applicable to average player,
Yeah.
but myself as someone who has a lot of experience playing the older versions of the game, a lot of us recognizes magicians as the class that isn't necessarily the character you want to play, but it's a character you have to play. It is a means to an end.
Mm,
It's not going to be your
mm. Yeah.
and with all these changes, it's sounding like that is no longer the case. And I
Oh
think,
wow.
I want to reference a very famous, very successful, very charismatic individual. He goes like, "Hello guys, welcome back." And then he goes like, what do you do in this video?" He's like, "Shadow, fresh prep. Are you still spending time cooking your own meal? Well, you're missing out on the game." Well, anyways, it's Dookie. What I'm trying to say is, he always says, play the class you want, not because a class is strong. And from everything that we're hearing right now, I think that is more relevant than ever because, like,
And that's a
I'm
good
just gonna
thing.
point to myself for an example, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've been conditioned and punished for not doing so, for not making a cleric when I first start a server because cleric are just so busted.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to Johog about this a couple of days ago, which is like, okay, cleric is gutted, right? Your heal only hits 3 target. It went from 300% to 100%. Who knows if holy symbol is going to work the same way? Who knows if ultimate skills are going to get a cooldown when they eventually come out? I don't know if I should still make a cleric or if fire poison, for example. Like I see someone saying in the chat, Exo Fang says the poisons can now one-shot mobs, and it's such an effective farming tool. But at the same time, I was like, should I sacrifice a potential HS for a better farming, or should I predict that HS is going to be nerfed to the ground because it's such a broken skill and make it
Right.
fire poison instead, or
Right.
should I just completely avoid the class? And that's when the sound of Dookie's voice came to my head. He's like, "Play what you want, play what you want." I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna make a hero." If you guys are used to playing clerics or mages, like Mage Story or whatever, I would be very careful because it seems like Nexon is hell bent on making magicians not as broken as before. And it is true. Like clerics, Mage Story, it's really a thing. They really are broken when you get to using your fourth drop ultimate skills. But whether that's still going to be the case, I don't have too much faith in it. Like guns in my head, if I was gonna pick a class and have it be evergreen and progress well from the early game into the late game,
Mm.
I feel like the direction Nexon is going, changing speed, changing accuracy, changing this, changing that. I don't think they're gonna be okay with magicians still being the best class. And hey, look at
Right.
what they did to my boy Night Lords, man. We'll get to that very
We'll
shortly.
get to that soon. We got a lot to say about that.
We'll get to
Um,
that soon.
so
But
what you're saying is that mages feel less like, oh my god, you have to use it now. You feel like Nexon is aware that people are saying like, oh well, people are just going to be making HS mules, and we kind of don't want people to do that.
exactly, and I feel like, again, just I gotta like I'm gonna try my best to think on both the perspectives of myself as a long term. Like I will say I'm pretty. My mind is hardcore, or at least my heart is hardcore, but my situation could not allow me to be a hardcore player.
Right.
But I'm gonna think from my own perspective, but also like your casual returning player's perspective. So if I was a hardcore player and I don't watch Johawk, I don't watch any videos talking about the changes, I come here, I make a cleric, I'm gonna get punished, right?
Mm.
But if I was a casual player, let me put it this way. If it wasn't because of how busted mages are, 80% of the magicians that exist on any single server would
Yeah.
probably be something else. Like no one logs in and be like, man, I can't wait to play a whatever, right? Unless you're just special. Like me, like I'm a special hero player. I only play hero.
Yeah.
So again, just play what you like. But with these changes, I really like the fact that you no longer need to make a cleric mule now. Like you don't need to.
Right.
In here is not going to be the most expensive thing as soon as you start on the game. Like people that actually, like Rubedo, for example, he loves fire poisons. He can actually make a fire poison now without spending crazy money. Like he doesn't have to spend,
Mm.
you know, 5 times the amount I need to spend as an act hero or as like a blunt paladin or something like that. So I really like this change. It's very new player friendly. It's very like new environment friendly,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, who cares about the sweaty players? Because if you are sweaty, you're gonna figure out eventually. Like the
Yeah,
time you spent mistakenly making a cleric, you're probably gonna make that back grinding anyways. So I would put this change in A tier.
A tier. Okay. Above the speed jump or
Uh yeah, I will put it above the speed jump. This is
sure.
pretty huge as far as shifting up the meta goes.
You're thinking both the skill change wise and the health of the game wise when it comes to this listing.
Honestly, I don't care about the skill change because without magicians being necessary, I don't think many people will be experiencing the skill changes.
Okay, okay. I
Like
agree. I would have
people
put
won't
it.
play them.
Uh huh. I don't know. I know right now I'm agreeing with you on everything, but so far I'm not really saying my take until after you say it, because I'm kind of okay with anything. I'll be honest. I'm pretty much okay with most things here. If you don't think I am, you probably just watched my videos and thought I was like being serious. But for everything here, like this is more of just an opinionated thing. I'm not saying this is like what is good and what is bad. It's just from the perspective of an old school player rather than someone who's just been like always keeping up. And I have been keeping up, but I haven't been keeping up with old school, if you know what I'm saying. Like Red Snowshoes is somebody who's always just been keeping up with old school. And that's why the opinions could differ sometimes. They could be a bit weird depending on who you ask. But carrying on. Next, we got the Bowman. Let me explain what the Bowman changes are. The biggest change for the Bowman, by the way, you're good with mages now, right? Like, we can move on?
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my box of Kleenexes. My nose is running. I'll be right
Sure,
back.
sure, sure thing. So, the Bowman, if you guys don't know, the only thing that got really changed with Bowman is the bow mastery. So, what the bow mastery does now is once you max out bow mastery, you no longer do the bow whacking skill. You know how when you're way too close to the mob, you'll start whacking it or you'll start punching it if you're like a sin. So with the sin, actually, you keep your punching thing if you're melee, but with the bowman, as long as you max out your mastery, you don't do the melee hit anymore. You don't do the knockback thing anymore. And that's the biggest change from what I've seen with bowman. But besides that, nothing really changed with bowman. And yeah, is cuisine
I mean,
back?
sorry, I guess one thing, right? I just want to confirm with you because I'm not sure.
Sure,
They
sure.
also buffed the health on Bowmans, right? Like everything has their health buffed.
Speaking of that, I don't know if health got buffed. I'm not too sure about what the health percentages are on everything, but I know that Bowmans are tankier because this is a spoiler. Dex now grants defense as well as accuracy. So since Bowman is the one class that specs into Dex only, they're gonna be very tanky. They're gonna have a lot of defense. So I mean, to be honest, bro, I think Bowman was a pretty shit class in old school MS. So everything so far seems to be a buff for Bowman.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like you're buffing the bottom of the barrel. Like you
Yeah,
probably should do quite a lot to bring them up to standard.
yeah,
And it's hard for me to mention Bowman without comparing them to Thieves, especially Night Lords.
yeah.
And I guess maybe I'll just go. Like, there's one thing that I know they changed with Night Lords, which I absolutely despise, which is they nerfed the range of the throwing star. It's only
Yeah.
50 pixel or whatever the distance unit is, but if that shit is nerfed, like it is you're gonna feel a difference. You're gonna feel like your what do they call it? The keen eyes or whatever. You're gonna feel like it's not maxed. And
Right.
I mean,
From what you remember is what you're trying to say. Like from
yeah, like you're gonna feel like
there's
that
like
shit is at
muscle
like level
memory.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with thieves, like my favorite thing to do with thief is you pop booster, you pop haste, and you start jumping around and hitting teddies, you hit
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
occupants, you
yeah.
hit
Because you
everything,
can
right?
actually jump shot with the thief.
It's gonna be awkward now. Now, the thing with Archer is that based on this change, they're now gonna be the superior ranged class because the range is able to hit further. But at the same time, they still cannot jump shot
They
like
can't.
assassins. Maybe that's Nexon's intention with the identities between the two classes. I'm
Uh
not
huh.
sure. Overall, I just hate how they reduced Nylord's range. And I know this is a Bowman conversation, it's not about Nylords.
Yeah.
Do I feel like they gained anything? Not really. It's just that the other class got gutted
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
50 range. doesn't mean you gain anything. It doesn't mean people will now pick you over Night Lord. It just makes Night Lord less enjoyable to play from a
I, kn-
QLL perspective.
I know. It's like reworking a champion in League of Legends. It's like,
Yeah, it's like reworking something. It's yeah. Anyways, that's a different topic. But
right.
as far as still being unable to jump shot, I think that is the barrier a lot of players will have. Like, yes, you have more health. Yes, you're gonna be tankier because of Dex, and yes, you have sharp eyes eventually, because everyone will need
Mm-hmm.
you. But still being unable to jump shot, in my opinion, just makes a class fundamentally uninteresting. Like, for example, if you have mages that can teleport, cast ultimate, yeah, okay, you can't jump cast Genesis, but come on, it's Genesis. You don't need to jump
Right.
shot for that.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
make the
yeah.
cast time double as long and I still be spamming that.
Right.
You have warriors who can jump brandish, jump dragon crusher or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
Archer has that identity that they're the most chunky, most what is it, cloggy? What am I even talking about? Like they're not satisfying to play. Even when you have Hurricane as Bowmaster, it's not like GMS where you can hold it down and walk around. Like you still
No,
have
you
to just
can't.
stand there.
They should change it though, so you could. But I'm getting too far.
Yeah,
I'm getting too ahead of myself here.
maybe they would.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, I'm saying all of this. It sounds more like a critique to the class itself. But as far as the changes that they actually made, which is number one, more HP, number two, tankier,
Mm-hmm.
I would put this in like I would really cautiously put this in S, maybe like the very bottom of S.
Wow, wow. Our first S. I wasn't expecting an S, to be honest.
I mean, they're overall healthy changes. It's just the class is still
No,
bad.
it's a good.
There's
They're all good changes. And we're just talking about the changes. We're not. You know what I'm saying? We're not starting
we're
things
not
from
ranking the
a
class.
right.
Not right now.
We're talking about the difference between old school to classic because the games are different, right? It's still based off the same game, but clearly some of the things are Nexon. They're like purposely changing some things, and a lot of the things, although not that prevalent, and maybe not, it's not eye catching, right? I think that's the issue. Is the Bowman changes are not very exposed unless you are a Bowman player, and when you see that and you're a Bowman man, you're like, damn, like that's good, but if you're not playing Bowman, you probably don't know about this change, but you definitely know about the Thief changes. You definitely heard, oh my
Well, these
god,
changes is gonna
Thief
give me
is
nightmares,
is
man.
cooked, and you've been dooming about that because you've been hearing it. And like I think it's because what the changes on the Thief is so noticeable on the
Yeah.
outside. Without like, but with the Bowman, it's like the opposite effect where the changes are very good, but they're kind of like low key, and like unless you actually love the class, you don't really notice it. So it's like a sleeper S. I'd put
Yeah,
it
let me
in
put it this
A.
way. If you guys invest, like if you have 100K in TFSA or something, Bowman is like you wake up and now you're like 100 and like $500. Like 100K, $500, right? It's just like
Mm,
it's nice. It's okay. It's probably gonna go up or down, but long term is gonna be fine. The
yeah,
thief changes is like if you wake up and your Bitcoin crashes 20%. That's what it
yeah.
feels
Your
like.
your Dogecoin just got like dicked on, and then now you're
Your
just
crypto just
useless.
got annihilated. That's what
Yeah,
thieves. You know
yeah.
what? Should we just go on to thieves?
Sure. Just one more thing. I would have. This is the one
All right.
time I would have put it like maybe here. Like I would have put Bowman here, but we're gonna leave it here. We're just gonna go off like your takes. But if I really disagree with something, I'll be sure to like make it vocal. But let's just go to
I bet.
thieves, man. I feel like a lot of people are waiting for this.
All right.
So the
So total
thieves,
stuff.
the
Tell what happened.
thieves. Okay, so like we've already heard that in fact I want to also put this here too. Claw nerf. I want to actually talk about the claw nerf first when it comes to the thief. They nerfed the attack speed of every single claw by one, from what I know. So, for example, you know how there's like slower, slow, normal, fast, and faster, right? When it comes to attack speed for weapons, most claws, except for like the Garnier, were fast. The default speed of a claw was fast, but now the default speed of a claw is normal. And the only fast claw that we know that exists in Classic is the Meba. And if you're not using the Meba, you will definitely notice like a lag in attack speed with the Assassin. So this nerf, honestly, to me, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad nerf. It really restricts a lot of claws if you're trying to get the max attack speed. You're either going to need speed infusion, which means pirates need to be released, or you're just gonna have to use a fast claw. I don't know what other claws are on the same level as Meba, but there really isn't any, because the ones that exist are like Dexless ones, like like Scanda's, like the Night Raven claw. Like those weren't gonna exist in Classic, so I don't know what thieves are gonna be using when it comes to claws. But I just want to put that there because I think it's relates to the thief changes. But some of the others thief changes, Dark Sight I think is like a 10-second duration now. Remember Dark Sight used to be like 2 minutes or like a minute and a half. Dark Sight's like 10 seconds. They removed Endure, but they added like this other dumbass healing passive, which is useless. You still don't really use it. The masteries changed for Claw Mastery. Instead of having more ninja stars, like how the more points you put into Claw Mastery, you can like charge more stars. For
Yeah,
example, like
now it's like a mana steal or something like that.
it's like there's a chance that you refund your throwing stars instead of
Bro.
getting more. But here's the thing, actually, somebody told me this in chat the other day, but this might be a buff for like when your fourth job, because you know how Shadow Stars is like Soul Arrow but for ninja stars. That synergizes with Claw Mastery, because when you're using Shadow Stars, I don't know, maybe you consume like 200 ninja stars, but then during that duration you're recharging your stars, because right, with each hit there is a chance that you refund that star. Does that make sense?
Honestly, bro, like this does not matter because Nihilords don't train unless they're gonna give them an AoE effect. Like they're just gonna be bossing. And if you're in
Yeah,
Zakun for like, if you're gonna burn through 8 sets of Ilbis,
yeah.
then just buy more Ilbis. Like it's, we're not talking. People who play Nihilords don't play for the skill floor. They play for the skill ceiling. They play for the, I got a pink adventure cape and a red
Damn.
Raven's claw and I'm about to clap anything. We
What
don't
you
play
just
for
said
like,
is bars, bro. I'm just saying what you
they
just
don't,
said was
yeah, they
bars.
don't play for like, oh man, I get to save 50k mesos because I don't gotta recharge my stars often. Like, bro, like get that shit out. Go play Archer or something if you care about that.
Uh-huh,
Like, we
uh-huh.
are talking about Nihilords here,
Yeah, we're not
right?
talking about bandits, we're talking about night lords. Bandit is a completely different story. I just
That
want
we'll
to.
talk about later. But
Yeah.
just on that point, like nerfing the attack speed, right? Again, they seem to be adamant on gutting the quality of life on Nihilords. It would be totally fine if they just dialed the Lucky 7 formula to say, okay, maybe we make it scale less on luck now. Maybe instead of like a 200% amplification, we make it like even like 125%. People can still have fun playing the class because it's what they remember, the movements, the muscle memory is still going to be the same. But now if you go into game, unless you're equipping a meta, like if you equip like a Gold Titans at level 15, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be like, why is my attack speed so gutted? And then your throwing range is gonna be gutted as well. So I really don't understand why they're so gung ho on making sure this class is pretty much unplayable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you guys can tell where I'm going with this. I think the claw changes straight F. I think the class changes, as far as assassins go, is straight F. I don't
Yeah.
really know what changes they did to the bandit, but even if they give bandit like absolute GM buffs with a GM hat with like 5,000 stats, just because how wrongly they did my boy the assassins, it's going into F tier. It's not moving until they change the range, change the attack speed.
Do you
You can
think
nerf
they'll
the
change
damage if
it?
you want. Hmm?
If you were to guess, would you think they'll change it? Or do you think they'll
I
leave it
have no
as
clue,
is?
bro. It's next on, bro. I have no clue, man.
I see. Uchiha God 56 says in the chat, bro, we don't need Hermit Story. They need to be nerfed. It's a good thing for class balancing.
Again, I think class balancing can come in a lot of different ways. They could gut the damage, but they shouldn't change how a class plays fundamentally. That's too far for,
Okay, okay.
in my opinion.
Just another thing. Let's just say that the claw nerf is basically everything assassin related, all right? Because there is a saying that bandit might be one of the top three classes when it comes to classic maple. People are kind of speculating that, so I do agree with you. Assassin got shit on big time, and I think it was like a conscious decision. But let's say we just combine the assassin and the bandit together. Where would you put that on the tier list, if that
Well,
makes
what
sense?
changes did the bandits get? I'm not very informed.
With the bandit, steel is now like a rage buff. So with steel, if you stun a character, you get like 35 attack.
not only stripped hyper body, now they're stripping rage and putting it into other classes as well.
Yes, they are.
So is heroes gonna get flash jump or something?
I don't know. I don't know about that. That'd be
Okay, could
nice.
continue. I'm not liking where this is going, but keep going.
Um, they gave crit. Well, they gave crit to every class, but um, Savage Blow also got buffed. And on that note, the luck formula for Lucky 7 is the same, but they nerfed the damage of Lucky 7 from 150% to 130%. So Lucky 7 got
Fair
like
enough,
nerfed.
bro. Like, why do you think this goes into C? I'm just curious.
I'm just saying the Bandit definitely got buffed. So if we're like evening
At the
everything
expense of
out,
warriors, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I
At the
guess
expense of
so.
heroes.
I know, but like Warriors, that's like a separate argument is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
true. You know what, bro? Yo, you know what? You
Yeah,
know
what's
what?
up?
You're
What's up?
right. Let's put it into C, but move warriors down, man. Like, come on,
Sure,
bro.
sure, sure.
You're just gonna give. Okay, I watched the video you did about
Uh-huh.
the class skill changes.
Uh-huh.
I know something out there got power guard, so they pretty much took all three class branches of heroes,
Yeah, yeah,
paladins.
magicians,
They're just like,
magicians.
hey guys, dude, it's like the Serb checks, bro. They're just like, hey, you immigrant to Canada, here's some money. Yo, let me stop. Keep going. Next one, please.
Okay, okay. So that's it for the class change speculation and all that. Some of these changes up next, they kind of extend on the class changes cuz stats require, like, you know what I mean? Warrior uses strength, Bowman uses dex, Thief uses luck, um Mage uses int, but they changed all of these. So first of all, this I don't know if you can read it, but it says less stat requirement. So for example, I don't remember. I think the Meba you needed 50 dex to equip the Meba in old school MapleStory. Correct me if I'm wrong. But now in classic Maple, you only need 25 dex to equip a Meba. Okay, that applies to like everything. But there's a big fucking issue with this, cause you know how warriors didn't need shit for dex to be able to equip except for like Stone Tooth Sword?
Hmm.
Now you need dex to equip warrior gear. I don't know if you saw that. But
I
they
definitely saw that.
they basically made everything the same. Again, they made everything the same in terms of like you need this much dex to equip this. You need this much luck to equip this. You need this much strength to equip this. They just gave that to every single class. So every single class is the same. I remember in old school Maple, I don't know if anyone else notices this, but thieves required the most amount of secondary stat, their dex, to be able to equip their gears. You know why this made sense? Because the Lucky 7 formula was broken. It was overtuned, and this is what started the meta of the Dexless Sin. Okay, that's what I would call like nuance, man. Like that's what made the sin, right? That's what made the sin such a elitist class, because you either had to be pro at the game, you had to be lucky, or you just had to spend a bunch of money for you to actually make use of the sin. Otherwise, you're just putting points into decks and you're not going to be doing as much, right? If you don't
Hmm.
have Ilbies, you're not going to be doing as much. So we're just getting rid of that now. We're getting rid of that whole system that we had before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you probably have your opinions, but I put this in fucking F. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like this change. Cause this kind of it kind of like summarizes your disappointment with how like the game is homogenizing everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
it's like
class
they gotta
identity
find
is
the
like
balance.
getting gutted by making it like this. I don't know why they decided to do this. Like, for example, like when you go, when you level up into first job as a sin, you need 25 dex, right? You know how warriors
Yeah.
need 30 dex, mages need 20 int. Thieves don't need 25 dex anymore. Thieves they can be at 4 dex now. I don't know why they changed that. I'm like, I know this sounds crazy. Like, maybe I sound crazy, but like, why are we changing this? I don't know yet. From what I've seen, this just seems stupid. But anyways, that's my rant. Do you have anything to say about this change?
I think I understand why they're doing it because Well, as far as warriors go, because really that's the only class that I play.
Yeah,
They want to avoid people accidentally not putting anything in decks and then realize they can't hit anything. So I get that part.
yeah.
But why are they so adamant in making mages have to click luck or thieves have to click decks? I'm really not sure. I don't understand the premise of this.
Uh-huh.
Um, Doing this just makes it so people can only progress their gear in one way. Like, if you guys recall back in the day, or if you currently play any old school servers, the progressions, there's two ways to progress. You can either be a goody two shoe and do whatever the gear is pointing you towards. Like, for example, if a level 40 claw requires, I don't know, like 60 decks. I don't know the numbers, but
Yeah.
let's say it requires 60 decks, right? You can click 60 base decks and then your equipment is just whatever, or you can like min-max a little bit, cap it a little bit, but still be
Uh-huh.
a 60 or 61 or 62. And then when you get to level 80, required decks might be like 100 now. So you get 100 base decks, or maybe just a little bit under, like your Zakum helmet, your shoes, your cape, makeup for it, sure, whatever. But them doing it this way now, and the server is going to be so new that people cannot get scrolls. They can't even scroll bathrooms because the meso is not going to be there in the game.
Well, not early on, yeah.
Not early on. Like, so imagine you're gonna be the first wave of people to play. You're gonna be like, man, I want to take a full week off to grind my assassin. I'm gonna be the number one assassin. Well, you pretty much have to click all decks. And I feel like the game is gonna be like this for a while. Like the meta is gonna be full decks because everything is gonna be so expensive if you're trying to cap your stats.
That's what people have been
And
saying, by the way. People are
it really
thinking,
takes away the expression of the game. Like it's
hmm
gonna be the same thing as GMS where your gear doesn't matter until you get your frozen gear, then your pencilier, then your Lionheart, then your
hmm
Fafnir, then your Absolabs, and then your Arcane Umbras. Like there's no gear expression. There's no individualism anymore. And although maybe I'll give it like 1 or 2 points on the warrior side and helping new warrior players understand, oh, okay, I need dex to get accuracy.
yeah,
The rest of this is completely garbage. I totally agree with you, Joe Hog. Like, I don't see why they have to do this.
yeah,
It's lowering the quality of life of everyone who wants to just have a little bit more expression in how they play and how they gear.
yeah,
I really hate this alongside with the weapon attack speed changes they did to the claw, so I
yeah.
would put this in F tier as well.
I'm glad we come to an agreement. I know there's gonna be a lot of people because somebody said I don't remember their name, but they said they'd put this in S, and I feel like there's a group of people who would put this change in S. But this is more of a this is more of a like a old school versus modern old school sort of a discussion. But for me and for me and Cuisine, this is honestly a terrible change that didn't need to happen, and it's going to bring new metas, but it also is homogenizing everything, and I'm not a fan of that. What I was gonna say earlier is there's people speculate, like people at the playtest are saying they're gonna go like full Dex warrior instead of putting points into strength. They want
Mm,
to put it into
right.
Dex because it applies defense too. For some reason, they buff the absolute shit out of Dex. I don't know why. I don't know what's given Inkwell a hard on for Dex, but Dex is like a really good stat now.
Yo, if you guys play One Piece, I don't know, like if you guys replay this, someone plays One Piece. There was someone that was saying like someone at Bandai has a hard on for yellow because yellow is like the gacha color and Jog just good. I know you don't play One Piece. Basically
Uh-huh.
with yellow, every time you hit them, they get a gacha chance to trigger something OP and just like nuke the opponent. So it's very uninteractive to play against. It's all based on luck. And so they keep giving yellow support. Anyways, I want to take a quick minute to just read the comments.
Sure.
Uchiha God says, honestly, I'm not worried about skill or AP. I'm more concerned about how they're going to monetize the game. I do agree with that to a certain extent, but the thing that concerns me, and I'm sure a lot of people more right now, is not how they're going to monetize it, because the more important question is, what is the game? Right? What are we playing here? If the game is fundamentally uninteresting, not fun to play, it doesn't matter how they're monetizing it, people won't play. But if the game, like if all these changes that we're going through is fun, it's encouraging new players to join, and more experienced players can still find a reason to participate in it, okay, then we can look at how they're going to monetize it because now it might be more expensive for some players, might not. But at the current state of things, I think we need to fully go through these changes first before we can really care about how they're going to monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and DK says they were encouraging Sins to get accuracy from luck. I think that's something that we haven't covered yet, Johawk, which is the whole accuracy change. Like
Yeah,
luck
that's
doesn't,
next, by the
it's
way.
not a guarantee. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah, that's
And
next.
just before we move on, if you're enjoying this live stream, we're trying to do this every single Friday between anywhere between 6 p.m. to like 9 p.m. if you guys
Yes,
catch us
sir.
live. So if you like this video, it really help us understand what you guys are looking for. If you have any suggestions on what we can do for the next live stream, let us know in the comments or in the chat as well.
Hmm.
But just like the video, help share it. It'll really help us keep bringing this type of content to you.
Yes, sir. And to follow up with that, this live stream, we're talking about the changes that already exist. But I'm thinking next week we'll have a live stream where we talk about speculation and what either how we see the game, like what direction it's going, and maybe some other things like, for example, like what we want for third job or how the game should be monetized. We could have like a live stream next week for discussion topics on that.
Sure, sounds good.
But carrying on, we next have the stat changes in MapleStory. So a lot of things got changed in classic Maple. So I think, for example, like attack damage, I think it's like now half of what it used to give. So like 10 attack work gloves, if you had a 10 attack work gloves in classic Maple, it's like having like a 5 attack work glove. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And I believe int gets like one magic attack per 2 int. Remember, it used to be like one int equals one magic attack. I think they like half that as well. Every class gets crit, right? Every class gets at least 5% crit chance. So strength still is the same. Dex, we've said already, Dex gives defense now and accuracy. They've removed luck. They removed giving accuracy to luck, because I don't know if you remember, but luck used to give a little bit of accuracy per point.
I did not know that. No, that's cool
That's
though.
that's why Dexless Sins didn't ever miss anything, because luck would also grant accuracy. So they don't. This is what I mean by like they. This is what people mean by they're trying to get rid of Dexless Sin by making it so that the luck doesn't grant accuracy anymore. So you'll be missing a lot more.
So which stat gives accuracy? Is it still Dex?
It's Dex. Only Dex gives accuracy,
Okay.
and then
Dex.
int
Well, so what does
I
luck?
believe
What does
is.
luck give? Is it still like EXP
I'm pretty
loss upon
sure
death or something like that?
that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Avoidability.
Does it give avoidability?
Yeah, it gives avoidability and it gives less EXP on death, and they remove the accuracy portion of luck. So they nerfed luck, they buffed Dex. Strength and int seem about the same.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's about it for the changes. But like this applies to like each class has a different. Does that make sense? Like each class has a different effect because of the stat changes, right?
Right.
And I think the
Right.
tier list, the way that the tier list is like listed, it applies what the stat changes change. So for example, Bowman is up here because now they're tanky as shit, and Dex is just OP, which is why it's here, right?
Mhm.
Mage is here because well, Mage is a mage. And
Yeah.
these are down here because of the Dex changes.
So if what I'm hearing correctly, there's pretty much two main changes that's gonna affect everyone. Number one, um, luck doesn't give accuracy anymore, so they
Yep.
actually have to click Dex, which I think it's gonna come naturally anyways because those equipments have a Dex requirement.
Yep.
And also Dex gives weapon defense now, which is very interesting
Very
because
interesting.
that means archers has the potential of being like an absolute unit, like a juggernaut type class.
Yeah. Very
I don't
tanky.
see how that is supposed to
Makes sense.
complement their kit, which is long range, and they even have a decoy in the
Yeah.
straw dummy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense from a design perspective, but I'm happy they got buffed.
Yeah.
I'm all for giving classes new identities as long as those identities are well thought out and won't really impact the core gameplay of those classes. And so far, I kind of think like I'm okay with them. People just need to have higher base decks if they are a weapon attack type class. Archers get a huge buff, that's why they're already in S tier. Mages, I don't think really changes too much. Like they still have to click luck if I'm not mistaken, and maybe they get a bit
Well,
more avoidability.
for mages, they click luck so they can equip their equips.
Yeah, equip there. Which at the same time, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do with avoidability when you already have magic guard? You know,
Exactly.
um,
That's what I don't like is like at least with warrior, if you're putting points into dex, you're getting accuracy out of it. You know, Even with
I,
Thief.
okay, my like I don't really know what to say. I feel like this is one of those changes that they're just changing it for the sake of changing it. Like it
That
doesn't really benefit
I feel
anyone.
like a lot of things, a lot of these changes are like that. They're just changing it so they can just change it.
They're changing because they got like log hours. Like they're probably like offshoring this to some developers in
Yeah, like
Pakistan, and
they're
they're
trying
gonna
to
be like,
get promoted in Nexon or something. They're like, oh, look what I did to
they're like,
the
guys,
Dex
our
Inkwell.
roadmap is to change everything, and we're almost there. Wow.
Yeah, we're almost there, and then it'll launch, and then and then we'll see what happens.
But in all seriousness, I think the weapon defense is kind of
Yeah,
cool, but the rest of it is like, okay,
whatever.
like a tree fell in the forest, no one cares.
Yeah, I think this is a very neutral. I know I'm just getting ahead of myself here, but I put this in B because it really depends on what your class is. I'd honestly put it in C if we're talking about like the change itself. I think if there was no change in the stats, life would be better. You know what I mean? But
That's a
with
really good. Well, no, you can't be that. You can't be biased like that because you and I's life's gonna be better because we're experienced. But
right.
think about it, right? Let's say your average person comes and tries the game out. Like, let's say your friend who never. Let's say Sam Yan. Okay,
Hmm.
like he came from GMS, right? I think that's a pretty core demographic that they're trying to capture. Do you think they would appreciate these changes, especially for the stats?
Assuming that they don't know anything about classic, yes, I think
All they
they.
know is GMS. I click auto assign and I do not look at my stat screen ever again.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
they'd
do
like
you
it.
think?
I think most people would like it because we are the minority here,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
why I'm
I think
putting it like decently high. Like if I was in charge of this tier list, it'd go
there's
here.
like okay, I hear you, but at the same time, someone like Sam, he might
Mm.
be okay with it, but will he care? Like, does this even do anything? You're like, what
Well,
is the point? I
no,
don't
because
understand.
no, he wouldn't care. He'd just play the game. He'd be like, all right, how do I get strong? And he'd play the game.
He's gonna go on a Yumi Love or whatever the 2026 equivalent is. Be like, okay,
Right, and then
one
like
dex, five strength, level up. Okay, I click that, I move on with my life. Like, what does this change, bro? I don't understand. I mean, B, I think it's not a bad change. It's just like a why did you change it type of situation.
I mean, listen, I agree with you, man. Why did they change any of this shit? Um, but they did. You know what I mean? Like, we can't say anything about it. We can just only comment on the change.
Actually, I'll throw it in C. Like weapon defense, sure. So maybe someone can figure out. Like
You put it in C. I don't mind
maybe
putting it in B. Like, I feel
maybe
like this is a
Dex
very
mages will be a thing in the future.
uh-huh.
Someone can have fun with that, but the
Sure.
rest of this is just logging hours for the sake of logging hours.
I 100% believe in that, and it's kind of sad that that's the. It's not limited to MapleStory. You know what I mean? Like this applies to everything. I feel like any like workplace you go to, any game, you'll see these kind of like weird ass things happening just because, again, like somebody trying to get promoted type shit. Anyways, let's move on. I think we've talked about stat changes for enough at this point. Party EXP buff. Okay, what this means is when you're in a party, you get more EXP per. I don't know. Remember back in like Lionheart Kingdom era of MapleStory, and everyone was just AFKing on the ropes. Remember
Mhm.
that map? It incentivized party play because if you're in a party of 6, your EXP efficiency is like double or something like that. The more people you had in your party.
Mhm.
So they're kind of bringing that into Classic Maple. I don't know what the exact percentages are, but I think it's like 10% bonus EXP for each player, maybe like 20% bonus EXP for each player in your party. So
Mhm.
they're trying to incentivize party play, but somebody mentioned as well, like this also will, like the EXP levels will skew depending on where you're training, right? If you're training at a low level area, then 6 people sharing a single map won't be nice. But let's say I don't know, like in Elnath, like Yetis and Peeps, that would be a great place to train a 6. Maybe Deep Looty, that'd be a great place to train a 6. But
Yeah.
it really depends,
God,
right?
I'm, were you playing the game actively when Lionheart Castle was the meta?
I was, but I wasn't like I was still a
Like you
kid, if
weren't
that
at that
makes
area.
sense.
You
I
weren't at
was
that
in that
area.
area, but I didn't
Oh.
understand it. I was just like, oh hell yeah, free
Oh.
levels. You know what I mean?
So I again, guys, I'm not sure if I'm biased. Please let me know if I'm biased. Like those of you that played during that era, you can let me know. I had a really fond memory of that era. Like I was playing a paladin actually. I was playing a hero surprisingly, and I had this VIP two-handed blunt weapon that I scrolled myself with my newspaper delivery money that my mom told me to save. That I just went out and bought an X, and I fucking just absolutely dumped money on that shit. Anyways, point being. I had a lot of fun because when I was weak, like my entire character revolved around being able to find a party at the Helmet Crocodiles, the first map or whatever it is, and people will like carry you, like they'll carry super hard. Like everyone is, it's essentially like a raid boss system where every mob spawn had so much HP, and every single party, if they were a 5-man, they would try to find a 6-man because the EXP was just that good.
Right.
And it's a very fond time of my life playing MapleStory because there's so much of a community aspect to it. A single
Mm.
map could easily have two parties running at the same time because the mobs were just that hard to kill, and the EXP boosters based on how many members were in your party was that significant. And then eventually, the more couple of months down the road, I delivered a lot of newspapers around the neighborhood. I made some
Hey,
money. I
shout
put on
outs.
NX. I absolutely just what am I trying to say here? I busted down the equivalent of watch diamonds. I busted down my character and I started carrying people. I had a lot of fun because
Mm.
if you guys played in that era, you'll remember when you have a party of 2 or 3 men, you would just disband. There's no point. The EXP was so bad that if you were playing a 2-man or a 3-man party, you would sit there, the rest of the party would AFK, you would smeg out to try to find a couple more people to fill. Like even if they wanted to sit there and leech, which by the way won't exist on MapleStory Classic, which I think is a pretty good change. Like the whole EXP multiplication system, we've seen that on GMS back around, I want to say it's like 2010, 2011,
Yeah, around
2012
Big
maybe.
Bang, like early Big Bang.
Around Big Bang, like just at the cusp of Big Bang. It was actually a really good change. Like I really thoroughly enjoyed that era of Maple.
Yeah, early Big
So I
Bang
think
was fun. It just did not have shelf life.
yeah, everything was kind of happening too fast all at once. But as far
Yeah.
as the party EXP buff, I quite like this change.
Yeah, you're a fan of this. Where would you put this,
Yeah.
bro? Where would you put this on the tier list?
I throw it in S, man. I would throw this in
Okay.
S
Okay.
above Bowman because I
All
think
right.
this is
Top of
definitely
S.
the game heading in the right direction.
I agree.
Um, I think I've been reading a lot of comments here and there about people saying that Nexon's main goal is to make sure that the private server sweat lords can't come in here and just be able to like speed run to number one.
Hmm.
I think that's important. There's some things that I agree that I see them trying to do that, but there's certain things like, for example, just changing the stats for no reason. It's like why, right? But when it comes to something like party EXP buff, it doesn't matter what people's experience was. It's kind of like changing your base movement speed where it's applicable to everyone and it's going to increase everyone's QOL and it's going to make the game more fun, right? It's not going to be what is it, dead internet theory because now there's actually going to be people moving around your map interacting with you, right? It's
Yeah.
not going to be like logging onto Rtail and all you see is bots everywhere. Like you're actually going to get to play with players.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a hard S for me.
Okay, okay. I mean, this is a perfect transition because the next thing kind of has to deal with bots. I don't know if you can read it, but it says no EXP after 10 seconds. So, what that means is if you're in a party and you're getting leeched, for example, if you're not moving, if you're not hitting anything, if you're not interacting in game for more than 10 seconds, you stop getting EXP altogether, even if you're in the party. I think in Artale, it was like what 2 minutes. There was like a 2 minute grace period. But
So
in
I've never
classic,
even gotten
it's
into a party in RTL because I can't change channels.
right, right,
So I
right.
don't know. I didn't know this existed because I never got a party.
Yeah, yeah. But when you get into a party in classic Maple, you're gonna be wanting to be on the screen. You're gonna be wanting to play, stay active. Um,
Yeah.
Again, this just combats leeching. It combats botting. It combats a lot of things.
Yo, hold
Um,
on. I want to address this very important. Fast Think 864 says feel like you're just gonna see bot parties now. That is very important. Nexon needs to make sure their anti-cheat system is working. Because if you start seeing like
please.
a bot party of just
I beg.
remember the Realm of the Mad God where it's like six characters walking on top of each other, like the fame train kind of stuff.
The multi-box.
If we run into
Oh.
that situation, man, like these changes will have the reverse effect. But as long as
No,
they
for real,
can
for real, for
combat
real.
the botting, like I think personally for me, mages from everything that we know right now will not be the absolute meta anymore. You won't have to make an HS mule or whatever. Like it's just gonna be a class you play because you like the class. I don't think leeching will be prevalent, and I think by making these two changes, gutting clerics and also implementing the anti-AFK rule, the game is definitely heading towards the right direction. And I want to give Nexon credit where credit's due. Like these are all
Mm,
things that will actively promote active gameplay. Um, the absolute opposite of Idle Story, which is kind of funny because
fuck that game.
they're developing the same thing at the same time. But this would go into S tier as well for me.
Nice. Okay. I guess I agree, and the only reason I wouldn't agree is because I would honestly not mind it being the way it was, as in like because I am a proper like I support leeching actually, because
I
in a
know that's a big
sense
topic. To
I
talk about that, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
okay, I'll make it quick. I support leeching because eventually everyone's gonna level up, and not everyone is super sweaty. So once the competitive aspect of that stuff is all over, could we just let the noobs just get free levels? Well, they'll be paying for it anyways, right? Or they'll be getting leech from their friends and stuff. I think it just incentivizes casual players to get stronger, because I know everyone isn't going to be playing super sweaty. They're not going to be doing the most efficient thing. They're just trying to feel like they're strong. This is why Reboot is such a popular landscape of MapleStory, because they just make it very easy to be able to progress and to make, you know what I'm saying? Not everyone's going to be actively playing. So this change incentivizes more active players and sweaty players, but it kind of is a nerf to casual players. And I don't know. I guess there should be more thought put into this, but I wouldn't have minded not having this at all, if that makes sense. But it's good. It's a good change. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying if there was no EXP after 10-second rule, things would still be fine. All right, and that's all I really got to say about that. So next we have the Forgotten Hollow. The Forgotten Hollow. That's a great question. So let me just see if I can find like an image of the Forgotten Hollow to show you guys on stream. Forgotten Hollow is this new area in between Elenia and Sleepywood, and they added it in Classic World. It's like I don't know. It's like a new area that's unique to Classic World. I can't seem to find any like photos, really good photos of it. Here's one. Let me show you
Yo
guys.
yo yo, I'm back.
Yo, welcome back. I'm just showing them what the Forgotten Hollow looks like, which is
What is
like
that?
the new Krexel area, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
This area is in between Sleepywood and Elenia, and there's some new mobs. I believe it's gonna be coming out upon release, but this is just never before seen. It's just like a unique area. As you can see, there's like a version of zombie mushroom that's like kind of mossified. It kind of reminds me of Ellen Forest, if that makes
Boss
sense.
High. It looks like they took the color scheme of Sleepywood and just changed a couple things. But Chad, do you guys feel like the art style is leaning more modern than it is old school?
A lot of people were saying that it reminds them of like Mushroom Kingdom, and that was like
Mhm.
post Big Bang.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, fuck, man. I don't know what to say, man. Like, you know how I feel. Dude, like, even
Yeah,
as a new player, like a player who hasn't touched this game since 2006, and they're coming back, and then they're like, oh wow, new area. I guess it's nice. Like, I guess people could be like, dude, that's a cool tree, man. Yo, those are some really cool. What are those green mushrooms, but zombie? Like the
yeah,
zombie mushroom and green mushroom have a baby.
yeah.
Um, I guess it's nice. Like it's new content, which it's good, and I'm happy that they're still using the design language of the past. Like you're not getting a Seoul Erda,
Right.
area all of
Right.
a sudden in Sleepywood. So I give them credit for that. It's just, mm,
I feel like it's really
uh,
unnecessary. This was
it's
so
unnecessary, but I
unnecessary.
do get like they're trying to make new areas for people to explore. Like if I had to critique anything, it would be, let me put it this way, right, Joe Hawk?
Yeah.
If they made the art style super faithful, like let's say they somehow dug up some forgotten art files from 2005 when they were first in beta with the game,
Yeah.
would I still feel the same way I do now? Probably not, right? I'd be like, wow, like, dude, think about it this way. Okay, everything I just said,
Mm-hmm.
throw that out the window.
Okay.
Let's say today Nemi came out and in her Korean English, she said, guys, I found a bunch of art files we made in 2004, 2005 when we were developing the game. The
Mm-hmm.
hard drive got lost or whatever. I just found it. Now we're gonna add all the content on this floppy disk into the new area between Sleepywood and Elenia. Would you
Right.
be excited or not?
Oh fuck yeah, I would, dude.
I
What?
would be so pumped, right? So
Yeah.
I think fundamentally, my issue, like I just kind of talked myself through this, is the art style, bro.
You think so?
Like these trees look like they belong in
You know. You know
future
what they.
period.
You know
Future
what?
period. Future
Yeah.
period.
You know what I was gonna
Nah,
say.
seriously, they belong in future period. They don't belong in old school classic. Like my issue is with the art style, not the fact that they're adding new content. Because
Yeah.
if Nemi came out and be like, "Yeah, we got some lost files from 2006," dude, I would welcome that with open arms. But the fact that it looks like this,
I think
yo,
this
the
is
art is
a.
not it, man.
I think this is a vibes based thing. I know that sounds crazy, but I know some
The
of you know
vibes.
about the Marvel rival situation. But this is a vibes based thing, and we're not feeling the vibes of this new area. To simply put, it reminds me of like a new class that came out, and you're doing like the level 10 to 30 tutorial. You know what I mean? Before you're
Yeah.
allowed to leave that fucking place, this is where you're here, and you need to go into like cutscene after cutscene. That's what it reminds me of. So
Hold on. Rhea's Comet and Fast Think are both like they kind of like the design. Okay, let me put it this way, right? Second question for you, Johawk, and question for me as well.
sure.
Now, what if these were the lost files from 2005? We just don't know it. Would you believe that? Could you believe that?
No, no, fuck no.
No?
No, I wouldn't
No?
believe it. I wouldn't believe
Okay,
it. It doesn't
what
look
if it
like it.
was? What if Nemi came out be like, guys, these were the lost files from 2006?
That would make it more hype. But like we're
So what you're saying is kind of like the drill rappers, like they gotta live the truth. If they just come out, if they're like a Lil Tecca,
yeah.
right? You're like, I'm not really feeling this. But if
Yeah.
Neme came out and be like, yo, I really lived this shit. This was
Yeah.
really from 2005. You're like, yo, I would eat this up. Like that's all you're saying?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, what if she was lying though? But what if she still said
I
it?
mean, some people lie, right? You don't know. It's a vibes thing.
Are you saying that Nami should have pulled up and said like what's up?
I'm pretty sure Nemi's not gonna do that, but like we're just trying to be objective to it. Like
Right.
if we're critiquing the art style, is it because the art is fundamentally bad, or is it because we just believe that the art is not original?
I think it's a little bit of both. I guess it's there like everyone will have a different opinion on this, but for me, I think the art style is just bad. Like it's not memorable. Maybe it's because it's not nostalgic, but to me, I would
Hey,
rather it not be here. Maybe a year later, sure, but not upon release, is what I think.
all right, bro. I'll let you do this one. Where you gonna put it?
I want to put this in B.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Well,
Pretty high.
first of all, there's no B, so it was looking kind of lonely, so I thought I'd just throw it in there. But again, it's just new content, and we don't know what if the drop table in this area is goaded? Hey, this is going up. It's going up a few tiers. We don't know that though, right?
You know what's
So
gonna be so funny?
what?
Like if I'm Nexon, right? I'm gonna roll out this area and I'm incentivized to make this piece of content super goated because the player reception will be nice and that will allow me to continue adding new content. 'Cause the worst thing that can
Right.
happen is this area comes out and no one goes to it. Kind of like Crimson would keep, right?
Yeah.
Nexon America is super enticed to make that area super goated
Right.
because then their piece of work is
Like
being
Gollux
appreciated.
and Commercy.
Yeah, like Gollux, exactly.
Yeah, and it'll have like the League of Legends new champion effect where every new champion that gets released is giga broken, and that like ups the popularity of that said champion. So
Yeah.
making the Forgotten Hollow like a good farming place, you know, good spawn, good drops, good EXP, good map layout. You could artificially, quote unquote, artificially make this place, you know, memorable again, just in the modern standpoint of classic MapleStory.
Mhm.
So again, I feel like this for this we gotta know more, right? We gotta know the drop table. We gotta know what the mobs do and that. But like right now, I feel like it's at a neutral B. Yo, what up, Air Force?
Yo,
That's
what
a
up, guys?
that guy
Yo, if
is
you guys enjoyed this live stream, make sure to hit that like button,
yeah.
subscribe,
Hit that
all that
like
good shit.
button, hit that dislike button if you disagree, and let us know in the comments if you disagree, man. You know, we're trying to have a friendly discussion here. We're not trying to like incite anything, right? I think the best thing for us to do is to just hear everyone out because everyone has their own opinion. Maybe some people have a bigger voice than others, but I feel like for the most part, the community wants to listen. And
Yeah, and tag Nemi, ask her if this is from 2005 or not.
yeah, if you know Nemi, if you got her cell, hit her up.
You got yourself.
But let's move on to the free market return.
Sure.
So I don't know if you know, but there was an advertisement that came out a couple months ago of them like kind of showing off like this simulation of the free market in Classic Maple. So basically, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but we should assume that the free market is going to be available on Classic Maple instead of Auction House. There was like a debate on whether we should have Auction House or free market in Classic Maple, but it seems like it's going to be the free market.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
I mean, there's this subculture going on around on Instagram and TikTok where um, girls want guys with seven-figure salaries and 6'2", and when guys treat for dinner, they said "as you should" instead of "thank you." Well, I feel like this is "as you should" moment, right?
mhm,
Like, is anyone really expecting auction house? Maybe Maple Trade Station at that, but
yeah,
as you should, Nexon, give us that free market.
as you should. And you
As
know
you
what?
should.
Simply put, this is an S tier return. For me personally. I don't know about you,
Yep,
but
S tier, straight S
it's
tier.
this is just something like do this more, Nexon. Do you know what I'm saying? Like bring back what you took away from the main game. Does that make
You know
sense?
what? Like, I think I just had an idea. Like, them giving us free market back would be the same thing as them giving us back that wooden login screen instead of making us fire Nexon launcher and go straight to World Select.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started,
That's what they
bro.
do. Like, I feel like there's a good chance they make us do the Nexon launcher
They
thing.
will, and like that's gonna
But
suck because I remember when I just used to just log into MapleStory. This is why I play
exactly,
on.
man. Like, we all remember that. Dude, they even use that login screen as part of their advertisement campaign for the closed
Yeah,
beta
and
server.
it's filthy and
And we
it's
all know it's not going to be
disingenuous.
there.
It's
We all know it's not going to
disingenuous.
be
It's
there.
disingenuous, Nexon, to do that. You like use what made your old game great, but you don't even implement it in your own games. You're just false advertising. You're doing exactly what you're doing with Maple Idol, and I won't stand it, bro. I won't stand for it. And it's working. That's my issue. It's working like crazy. You know how many people there's a guy who spent 40,000 on Maple Idol and he got that shit refunded because I don't know if you heard, but like Maple Idol, there was like cube rates that were like tweaked, so they had to like start
Oh my
refunding
God.
everybody.
I
There's
mean,
an X3 Iran video on that. So if you're curious, hey,
yeah. I mean, it's a hard world out there, right? Like,
yeah, it really
companies gotta
is.
do what they gotta do, players gotta do what they gotta do, and at the end of the day, we're just
Yeah,
trying to see everyone be a little happier, right? We've already got enough sadness in this world, so
for real.
if you're gonna make this game good, then you might as well just not bait and switch people. And
Indeed, indeed.
even though in the short term it's not gonna do that much damage, because a lot of people honestly just don't know and they don't care.
Uh huh.
Like the long-term goodwill that you build up with the players, which I think Nexon has been doing pretty well in the last couple of years. Like they've been more transparent with their communication, their expectations. They not still not as much as other games out there, but they're trying. So I
Yeah.
would really hate to see them like bait and switch people by teasing login screen, teasing free
Right.
market. End of the day, it's like it's not there.
Yeah.
I think that would warrant a different conversation.
100%. Let's just hope they stop doing that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they will. They probably won't, but we can only hope. And more free market esque, implements. Zero Dave with the $5 donation. Gotta bounce. Just want to say I appreciate the community you've built and hours of content you bring each week. Can't wait to play Classic with you all. I share that exact sentiment. I'm sure Red Snowshoe, aka Cuisine, will say the same.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
My boy Dave, we appreciate you, man. And shout outs, okay? Let's continue on though. No dilly dally. We're running on time over here, and a perfect transition to this is like the opposite of the free market returning. Is they're getting rid of the dice roll in the selection screen. It's confirmed, by the way. Somebody was asking earlier. It's confirmed. You just get the stats. It's kind of like when you job advance to your guy. That's when your stats are given to you, like
You
immediately.
sure it's not just something they did in the playtest? Like this is actually gonna make it to the real game?
I guess there's like a slight chance they'll bring it back, but from the speculations that we have right now, it's not coming back. And I'm just gonna assume that it's not coming back. Because the way that stat changes, you know how like the stats are changed as well? I feel like this ties in with the dice roll. Like this doesn't really matter as much because of this. And I mean, I really don't have much. I love this. This kind of epitomizes what MapleStory is all about. This is the very beginning. I mentioned it in one of my videos, in one of my early videos, but this is what you do in MapleStory, bro. You roll a dice, and you see if you win or you see if you lose. That's what MapleStory
Yeah.
is.
This is really again like this is I guess you can call it training wheel. Like I guess you can call it homogenization. Yeah. I don't see any reason they should get rid of this aside from maybe new player returning. They want to make a warrior, but they spec completely into int, and now they grief their account and they're level 15, they got to restart.
Hmm.
I mean, at that point, it's like, okay, I guess so. So I can kind of see the training wheel portion of that,
Yeah.
but now everyone's gonna have perfect stats.
Yeah.
So I mean, this pretty much means one thing, which is AP reset is probably not going to be in the game because if AP reset was in the game, then I feel like Nexon is almost incentivized to keep the dice roll so people can mess up their stats and they can buy AP resets.
Right.
But the fact that this is gone, it probably means there's probably no AP resets, which ties into the no HP watching thing altogether.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just
Well,
removing such a fundamental aspect of the game, like this is kind of like getting rid of the wooden login screen. I put it in F, man. Like just
I agree. And a lot of people will disagree with you, but I think this is a huge factor. Because like it kind of like primes people to. It was a brilliant comment a long time ago that I read where somebody was like, "This dice rolling mechanic kind of makes you expect what to expect in the game when you first. It's like almost like this is the tutorial to the game. You know what I mean? This is the unofficial tutorial to MapleStory, and to get rid of that, you're just getting rid of something that's just so iconic to what made MapleStory back then so popular.
I think this it's interesting to juxtapose this against the 110% speed and jump buff because they're kind of the same side of the coin
Yeah.
where Nexon is trying to streamline everyone's gameplay and build to be the exact same as the next person. But whereas the 110% speed and jump buff makes sense, it's convenient to people. With this, it's just like, okay, now you're going too far to of stripping us of our nostalgia. Like the part is it was a pretty important part of every character's creation of making them unique, and now it's just gone. So um, I don't really agree with this change. I
Mm-hmm.
see why they did it,
Mm-hmm.
but I just out of respect for our childhoods, man, I just
Out
can't
of
put this any
respect
higher than
for
that.
our nostalgia, I'm putting it in F. You don't have to agree with me. You know what I mean? You can tell me why this is a bad idea. This guy was saying, wouldn't leaving the dice do nothing but waste our time in 2026? Brother, you're wasting your time watching this stream. You're wasting your time anticipating for MapleStory. You're wasting your time if you do play classic MapleStory. Like, we could take this argument forever. But for the people who did play back then, they will know and they will tell you, man, I remember when I was dice rolling. And like, if you believe that that's not the case, you probably didn't play back then. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's comparatively a much smaller time waster than like taking the boat to Orbis, for example. And unless you're just an absolute min-maxer where you got to see 4 4 4 13, you're probably spending 5 minutes on this max. You probably spend more time trying to find an IGN, to be honest. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a bigger waste of time because trust me, nobody cares what your IGN is except for yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't like how they're getting rid of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we'll leave it at that, man. Like if people disagree, that's completely fine too. But at the same time, we have our memories.
Hmm.
Carrying on, no HP washing. Now this is a big one, so get ready, motherfuckers. So what I mean
Let
by
me go first. I'll do
sure,
it faster
sure.
for you,
Oh,
right?
please, start it off for us.
This goes into S tier for me for the sole reason
Ooh.
that, dude, everyone, literally every time we try to say something is bad, something is bad. Oh, I hate they did this, I hate they did that. Everyone's like, these are just two private server players trying to play their own game. Nexon is trying to combat the private server players and get rid of their meta so we can be a fresh slate. Okay, I don't agree with it most of the time, but the biggest culprit of like what embodies private server meta, it is HP washing. That is the number one meta when it comes to private server. And the fact that they're removing it, I do think it's necessary to make the game so private server players can't just come in here and just monopolize the whole game because they
Uh huh.
know how to do it from the beginning and they do that and then they just rule the world. I think it's important that they make it different, and I think having no HP washing is the epitome of what they need to do differently, right? Change the fundamental formulas, change how players acquire HP. I don't like it that they're doing it at the expense of heroes losing rage as their
Yeah.
identity. I don't like how they're losing, paladins are losing fucking power guard or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think them removing HP washing is going to help the game's overall solvability status, if that's what I can call it. Like people can't just come in here and just know how to get absolutely busted. And plus the removal of leeching. Like, yeah, good luck HP washing out there if you can't get leech. You can't
Right.
AFK, you can't play a cleric because clerics suck. Like I like they're shaping things up this way. I don't like how they're shaping it up by gutting Night Lords. So
Yeah.
I would say this is the positive side of the coin, and everything you see below B is the negative, the things that they're doing
Right.
wrong. And I think
Right.
HP washing is a very hot topic to a lot of people, but to me, like I never really minded it when I was playing private server. But I think
Mm-hmm.
just for the health of classic world, they should not have HP washing.
Here's what I gotta say about this topic. Hey, look at these private server elitists and their purist takes. HP washing is garbage and it should be removed. Hey. So I'm gonna already assume there's gonna be about 20 comments on this live stream saying exactly what I just said. So you don't have to say it. I already said it for you.
Yeah, but they're
Also,
not gonna watch this part. They're gonna watch till this part. So there, take that. Uno reverse, motherfucker.
also, to extend on the HP washing, the way that HP washing should be solved, because people will say like, okay, so how am I gonna boss on my thief if I'm gonna get one shot by everything? They should add life pots and mana pots. If you play Realm before, you know what they are, but it's a potion that grants permanent health. And that probably would be expensive if theoretically, if that something like that existed, whether you get it from Gachapon, whether you get it from drops from bossing, whatever it may be, they'll be expensive, and it'll be a great tool for Nexon to use to gain more money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just an advice for Nexon, but that would make HP the whole HP washing system so much more. It would make more sense because when I first learned HP washing, it felt like I was solving a puzzle, and I don't think people like that, right?
Mhm.
But with the HP just being like a pot, that's very simple. It's like, oh, I get it. Okay, so that's also the thing. Like, I think thieves are balanced because they do get one-shotted. Does you know what I mean by
Yeah.
that? Like, thieves aren't broken unless you have the HP. So if HP washing doesn't exist,
Hey,
thieves
hold on.
suck.
Azimon's in the chat asking what HP watching is. I guess some people will know if they're clicking on this video. Do you want to just give a quick 20
Oh
seconds? Go.
god. Okay, sure.
20 seconds.
So when you have int on your character, every 10 int you get a bonus mana when you level up. People HP wash by putting points into their int, so when they level up, they have bonus mana. They get more mana than, let's say, if you had 0 int or 4 int. And then what they do is they use that excess mana and use an AP reset that costs like what, 2.5 bucks. So every 2.5 bucks, you can change your mana and put it into your HP. So you're replacing your excess mana, because unless you're a mage, you don't really need mana. You change your bonus mana and you put it into your health. That's what HP washing is. It's pay to win.
Bro. This is too complicated. Let me put it this way, right? 10 seconds. Watch me,
Sure.
bro. HP washing is like when Goldie Roger, right?
Where is this
Rayleigh,
going?
Silver's Rayleigh, when they figured out what the fuck hockey is, and
Oh!
they started hacking at everyone, bro. And then your Straw Hat Luffy, the motherfuckers coming out of East Blue, they have no idea what hockey is, so they cannot, even if they're Logia type, they're getting shot on by a guy with an axe, right?
Base,
so they're
holy
trying
base.
to remove hockey from the game.
They're removing
make
hockey
sure-
from the game. They're removing hockey from the game.
from the game to make sure the Paramecia food users, the Logia type users, can actually stand a chance and fight without this hidden knowledge of what a armament hockey is. They want to make sure that people don't just spawn in with like absolutely goaded. What is it called?
Word.
Like, they don't want to make sure that people spawn in like 1 in, what is it, 50 million or 5 million with the Conquerors hockey that no one else can just beat. So they're trying to make it so the game is that little bit easier for people to figure out. Right? You don't got to worry about HP washing. Like, nah, that never existed. Just play the game how we wanted it.
By that logic, anyone who fucking shits on HP washing online, you have no hockey, bro. You have no aura. You get mocked by Shanks in half a frame. I'm just saying.
You'll be like Eustace Captain Kids trying to fire off that cannon, bro. You get divine departure.
Yeah, you're Eustace mid, bro, in MapleStory terms, bro. Anyways, I think that summed it up perfectly. You couldn't have said it better. I'm down to move
What do
on.
you feel like? So what did you want the S tier? Like I get the aura part, but do you think it's good for the health for the game? Like
I really thought about it, and the speculation online does affect me too, because I read the comments. I read what people just have to say about MapleStory. I don't watch Maple content, but I keep up with MapleStory news, and I keep up with classic Maple news and what people think. And to be honest, bro, HP washing is hard, bro. Getting hockey is hard. And not everyone's gonna, like, I feel like more people would be upset at the fact that they need to learn HP washing to be viable than to just get rid of it and put something else as an alternative. And I feel like they're planning something. I feel like MapleStory Classic is planning something.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like, if HP washing exists in the game and it is a pay-to-win feature, then you can have people like Kuzan punching that ship for like 10 years, right? He still doesn't have the true king of armaments hockey.
Okay.
You're never gonna get that.
Yeah.
And then the whales, they're the ones that will have true king of armaments hockey. But then you also have people who just have no idea what it is. And I think
Then doesn't that mean celestial dragons should be able to HP wash because they're whales?
you think we're gonna get more comments asking us what Celestial Dragons is than what HP washing is? I think that's highly possible. Then people are gonna be like, "What is One Piece, man? What is One Piece?"
Okay. Well, I'll stop talking about One Piece. No, but I think HP washing not existing ultimately is better. Okay, like my opinion here doesn't matter. In fact, like ultimately, my opinion on any of this shit doesn't matter because I don't get to choose what happens to the game. But from like a health standpoint, I have to agree, no HP washing is the way to go.
True. Health standpoint, 100% agree.
Yeah, and I think it's so much important that it overrides my own feelings on this thing, which is why I would put it in S tier.
Okay, well that's very generous of you. Thank you, Joe Hawk.
You're welcome, yeah. Shout outs.
All right, bro. Next one's all you. Dexless Sid, bro. I'll watch you cook.
All right, man. So I've been hearing a lot of motherfuckers online. These people who think they know everything. These people who've been talking about MapleStory Classic after it got announced. Okay. I've been playing MapleStory not only my whole life, but I've been making Maple content before the announcement of Classic Maple. So I feel like I know what I'm saying when it comes to the Dexless Sin. It's still going to be possible in Classic Maple. It's going to be harder, but that just makes the challenge even that much more fun to me. And I really don't want to go into the details of what I think about Dexless Sins because this is a spoiler, but I have a video planned, and it's going to be called something like why Dexless Sin will still work in Classic Maple or something like that. I'm cooking on something right now. And I'll explain more about my thoughts there, but the sentiment of the Dexless Sin is it is iconic. It is almost as iconic as the dice roll, the FM. You know what I mean? HP washing, not really, but like the default speed, the skills before they got changed. The Dexless Sin, when you talk about a casual player, they remember that shit. They remember the Maple Scanda. They remember the Ilbies. They remember the work gloves. Don't get me started on fucking work gloves and how those aren't going to be a thing anymore. You're getting rid of so many things by getting rid of being able to do the Dexless Sin. And a lot of people, man, they've been saying shit like, oh, it's actually healthy that Dexless Sins get removed. I don't think so, bro. I think you're thinking about yourself and your little group of R. Taylor buddies and Chrono Story buddies who've been doing Dexless because, you know, it's easy in those games. It's easy to be Dexless in private servers. It's easy to be Dexless in MapleStory worlds, okay? You get AP resets and all that shit for free, bro. It wasn't like that in old school MS. You're just proving to me that you don't play old school MS. And I'm going to be proving to you guys that Dexless Sin will be possible. Yes, I'm aware low dex is the most ideal and the most pro way. Don't come at me with that shit, because it's about the concept. It's about having that 25 dex. I guess in this case, it's about having that 4 base dex. It's about being able to say, by the way, I didn't put a single point into my dex, so what's up? At me, motherfucker. That's what being a Dexless Sin is all about. And if you don't agree with me, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I guess stick with your Bowman, stick with your mage, stick with whatever, stick with your low luck, low dex, low chicken, low fats, trans fat, Dexless Sin,
Beyond meat,
beyond meat, head ass. So if we're saying like the Dexless Sin changes.
Chat, you heard it here first. Johawk just said, regardless what happens to the game, he's gonna play Dexless Sin, okay?
I promise.
If any Nexon employees is listening to this, please fucking gut the I want to see this guy.
I'll still do it. I'm gonna be the Desermore of Dexless Sins. I'm gonna show you how you can get rid of the accuracy problem. I'm gonna show you how to rock the meba to level 100. I'm gonna make videos on this shit. So if you're a Dexless Sin, subscribe. I'm putting this in F tier. In the thought that they're trying to gut Dexless Sin. If that's true, I'm putting it in F tier because that's some horse shit, okay?
So you're ranking it based on the change, not based on how good it will be.
Yes, this is based on the change, and from what we've seen, they're trying to get rid of Dexless, and everyone who's chronically online agrees with Nexon in the sense of,
hold on. No. Yo, fuck all that shit, bro. The Redditors can say what they want, but we here in the stream wants to know, what is your plan with Dexless Sins? Let's say you can job advance with 4 decks, and you can rock a Garnier. Are you just going to do that?
Okay, so my plan, so here's my plan. Meba requires 25 decks to equip. I'm going to have 4 decks to start off with, which means I need 21 decks to fill in for my equipments to be able to rock the Meba. I'm going to be using the Meba. There's 2 reasons why I'm using the Meba. First of all, it's the lowest level claw that is still pretty good, and the reason why it's good is because it's attack speed fast. If you don't have an attack speed fast claw, which is literally none of the other claws available except for the Meba, from what I know,
they gutted that shit. Just want to put that out there, right?
You'll be attacking slower. You'll be attacking 1 attack speed slower, even with claw booster. If you don't know the math, don't at me because you don't know shit then. If you know, then you know Meba's going to be broken. So I'm going to be using the Meba, and I'm clicking the rest into luck. Okay. And if I need accuracy, I'll use Bless. That's why I got my Priest on the side, giving me Bless. No. That's why I got the Sniper Pill on the side, giving me accuracy. That's why I got Dex Scrolls up the ass, because I'll be scrolling everything for Dex. Capiche?
That's why he also has the Hero beside him and the Shadower beside him, because they now both give weapon attack now, because Rage is now no longer exclusive to the Hero, right? I love it, man.
Hey, you don't have to believe me, and you don't have to do the Dexless Sin as I do. I implore you not to do it. Let me be the token Dexless Sin in Maple Classic. You guys can go play your
Bro,
your full decks. Do whatever you want, man. Hey, you can flex on how much stronger you are than me, but okay, sure, doesn't matter to me. Damage never mattered to me. It was
yo,
about
if
the
you play a
policy.
Dexless in, I'll play Dexless Warrior, and we'll see who quits first.
I bet. I'm also going luckless. I'm also going the luckless mage, by the way, on that
I thought you
topic.
going Dexless and Luckless on your Sin, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it all into strength, bro.
God damn.
But I
Okay,
think I
okay, I
think
look
I
forward
think
to
I've
it.
said my piece. Just watch
Are
me.
you gonna make that your first character then? Your
Yeah,
Dexless Sin?
my Dexless
Your first
Sin.
one, right?
That's gonna be my main. And on my laptop, I'm gonna have a priest on the side. I'll be playing them both at the same time, but my main guy, the guy I'm gonna be playing on the most, is the Dexless Sin.
Okay,
And
okay. I look
the
forward
third
to it.
character I'll be playing is the Spearman. It really depends on how they change Dragon's Roar for the Spearman. But I'm thinking about you playing the Spearman as well.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just
Um,
playing hero, bro. I'm just playing the hero.
yeah, man, play the hero, bro. You should try out the Axe Warrior. I feel like the Axe Warrior
Oh yeah, yeah,
sleeper.
for sure.
It's a
Dude, my
sleeper pick.
favorite weapon is the Helios, like the
Yeah,
yellow thing.
yeah, yeah,
Dude, I
yeah, yeah.
love that weapon. Man. The Crescent Axe as well. Super cool.
Yeah. I feel like I really got out something I've been meaning to say for like a whole week now. So I feel good.
All right, let's keep it going.
Let's
What's the
keep it
next one?
going. It's
Inkwell and Nemi?
Inkwell and Nemi. I put this here because I feel like Inkwell and Nemi, rather than them being like coders, they're like the representatives of classic Maple. I feel like that's what Nexon's been trying to do.
Yeah.
Because whenever classic Maple is being talked about, they always get Inkwell and Nemi on the camera, and I just want to like kind of I just put this here for fun, where it's like, do you think Inkwell and Nemi being part of the Classic World team is a benefit or a detriment to Classic Maple?
You asking me?
I'm asking the chat, I'm asking you, I'm even asking myself because I didn't really think about it.
Honestly, I haven't even thought about this. I mean, they probably brought Nemi back as kind of like a consultant position of like picking her brain on how she and the team back then came up with the concept together of MapleStory.
Yeah.
But they're definitely utilizing both her and Inkwell now for different reasons as the face because Nexon has historically lacked a
Oh, create a poll.
connection to the player base. Like the player base didn't trust Nexon, and Nexon didn't communicate with the players. And since Inkwell came on, he's done a lot more of these community notes, talking to the players, trying to be like the quote unquote good guy. Um, Even though he was the one who nuked the game with Big Bang back then, but I'm pretty sure he didn't know the effects that would have, so I wouldn't blame him for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's gonna be a good or bad thing because ultimately the decision is not being made by them. They're just figureheads
They are
trying to.
figureheads. They are figureheads.
They're just the liaison between Nexon and the players, and I don't know how much say they ultimately get. Nemi definitely probably was brought back to share some of her experience and thoughts and how she thinks the game's shaping up, but ultimately how much of that is actually going to get implemented, I'm pretty sure neither Inkwell or Nemi has much say in it.
Mm-hmm.
I never met them, obviously. I
Well,
think
I
they're
haven't
probably
either.
great people,
Yeah.
right? Nothing wrong with them. Um, if the game turns out to be shit, I don't think it's because of them. 100% don't think it's because of Nemi, right? Because if I was Nemi, like I would be very proud. I don't want to have think about it, right?
Yeah.
And I said this before in a previous stream, a long time ago. Nemi is like the Steve Jobs who created iPhone for a lot of us. Like
Yeah.
we remember what MapleStory is because of this Nemi person figure. So if I was Nemi, like I'm either incentivized by getting a huge bag from Nexon, bringing me back, developing this game that's gonna, they call it a classic world, and they're putting me in this position as if I made the whole thing. So if this game comes out and it's bad, well, it's either I'm getting paid a lot of money or I'm gonna be super upset. So I don't think we can blame her or say like, oh, Nemi's behind this, the game's gonna be great, or Nemi's behind this, the game's gonna be mid. I just think she's there, she's getting paid, and I think in her best interest, the game turns out to be great. Um, but this is kind of like it's neither here or there. I don't think them being there really does anything. At the end of the day, they're just vessels of
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
Nexon gets the final say whether they want to see this game be super pay to win or super modern or all that shit.
Yeah, and from what I'm getting through the polls, it's a complete 50-50 on whether they trust Inkwell and Nemi. I think this is a very neutral thing. And that's not a bad thing, but like I was just wondering like what people think, because I feel like even though you're right that these guys are figureheads, right? But figureheads are also pretty important to the game. And a lot of people, like casual players or people who don't really dig deep into like the changes of this game, put their trust into these guys, right? They trust that they'll deliver something worthwhile to play. And what they say is very important. Remember that one time Inkwell at MapleCon was like, by the way, we're ready for this game to release, but we're not going to release it.
Yo,
Right?
that guy just invited hate on himself, bro.
That was
Respect to that. Honestly, like I'm pretty sure I would bet money on this. I'm like 95% certainty that no, he's fucking lying. It's not up to him whether he wants to release the game today or whatever it is. Like it's not up to him. He's just saying that to like I don't know, claim responsibility because it's controversial. It's gonna get people to drum up, but it's not up to Inkwell, guys.
It really isn't. He's literally like he's like the president of Classic Maple, man, and the president really doesn't
But
do
that's like
anything.
that's like me saying on the stream. By the way, as a guest to the Johawk channel, guys, if we run the stream up to 100 likes, uh, I'm gonna take YouTube public tomorrow, which is the earliest stuff. Like I'm trying to like make a change to the YouTube platform. Like it's I have zero power in that.
Yeah.
I could write an email to them, right?
Yeah.
Inkwell could write an email, be like, hey, people are excited. Let's launch Classic World on X date. And he might not even get a reply. Who knows? I don't know how the inner workings of Nexon goes, but
He's just
yeah,
getting
it's not up
paid.
to him.
He's not even getting paid for doing anything to the game. He's just getting paid to. I
No,
feel like
man,
he's
him and Nemi, honestly, like a huge share of what they do is just for the love of the game. Like they love
Yeah.
MapleStory. Their entire careers have been have been based on this game. So they're really trying to see it do well to preserve their legacy, to create a second legacy
Yeah.
for themselves,
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
come back and really give it another blossoming season.
Yeah.
But you know what, Johawk, just because these two people are so willingly volunteered for themselves to be the figureheads, bro,
Yeah.
throw that shit in A, bro. Hold them accountable. If the game
Yes,
turns out to be
sir.
shit, we gotta let them know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that. I was at first gonna put them in B because they feel like very like they feel like unimpactful. But the more I think about it, the more a lot of like the not like the literal changes, but like the spirit of Classic Maple, it lies on them, man, and it lies on how they deliver, whatever the changes are or whatever whenever the game comes out. We still haven't even seen when the game is going to be released, so they better set up something cool. They better have some sort of promotion going on. We're really hoping. We have high hopes for these guys. These guys are iconic to the MapleStory. They're NPCs in the game, right?
They're NPCs, man. And I think something that you said very important, that these guys, they don't have a lot of impact, bro. We are holding them accountable. If the
Yes.
game is bad, yo, it's you guys, man.
We're
You guys
blaming
suck.
them. We're blaming them because we don't know
We're
what
blaming
the
them.
we don't know
Blaming
what the
them. And I
devs'
mean, like,
faces look like.
that is how it works, right? Because we have no one else to communicate with. Like these guys so willingly made themselves the liaison between us
Yeah.
and Nexon. Well, we can only talk to you guys, and if the game's bad, we're gonna let you know.
And I'm gonna be keeping up. I'm gonna be being honest. I kind of project myself to be honest on this platform, and when I see the changes go live in the game and I'm playing the game, I'm gonna be, jotting down what I think. If I don't like something, I'll publicly, complain about it, and I'll make videos about it. So you're gonna wanna hear me out when that time comes. But right now, all we can do is hope. Inkwell and Emmy, wish you the best of luck. And yeah, Classic Maple
Yeah.
soon. Classic
Soon.
Maple soon.
All right. OSMS community, what you got for that?
So these are the final two. I know these kind of don't make sense because it's not really about the changes. But let me explain what this means, right? Because maybe some of you are confused. So the OSMS community is everyone in here is anybody who was interested in old school MapleStory before Classic Maple was announced. This is what I would consider the OSMS community. So, for example, Cuisine, he used to play on a private server before he got permanently banned. He is a member of the OSMS community. He sees OSMS as what Classic Maple is. He's played and he's experienced. He's become a pro in Classic Maple maybe even, maybe you were a noob back then, but you still kept playing. You're like a melee player, if that makes sense. You play the old game in the modern times, even before the announcement of Classic. But I think the announcement of Classic, there was like a paradigm shift. And what I'd say the Classic community is anybody who jumped in on the bandwagon after the announcement, after MapleCon, after it's all been like said. This is what I would consider the Classic community. And this isn't like black and white. There's like a gray area to this. So for example, I think I'm like maybe 70% OSMS, maybe even 60% OSMS and 40% Classic community.
I get what you're saying now. Okay, well, I was confused where this is going. So OSMS community is people that has just been playing OSMS. Classic community is people that have only started caring about OSMS after Classic World announced.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the Poke Bros, right? Like OSMS is like people that have been playing One Piece or Magic the Gathering for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
The Classic community are the Poke Bros that's just floating community to community, buying everything out,
exactly.
Everything,
Floaters,
making the game unaffordable.
Yes, like the people you should not listen to the advice of. I'm gonna keep it there, but like the people who are OSMS community, they are diehard fans of old school MS. They hate reboot. They hate modern. When they think of MapleStory, they think of, the dice roll, the free market, drop games, Dexless sins. This is what people in the OSMS community think about, and when they remember MapleStory. The people who are in the Classic community, they probably think about, I don't know, maybe private servers, Ardtail, MapleStory Worlds, Maple Land. Maybe they do play retail Maple. Who knows? But I do think that if anything, the Classic community is a lot more vocal. They're not afraid to say what's on their mind. They're not afraid to say what they want changed in the game, whether the OSMS community agrees with them or not. You know what I mean? They're willing to say it if it means the game will be in a better place. Whether they think it would be in a better place, whether it will make it a better place, they're not afraid to say it. I feel like the OSMS community, they're more purists. This is what I would consider like the elitists who are like, don't even put in Fourth Job, man. Don't even put in Pirates, man. Like that kind of area, if you're really thinking like radical, extreme OSMS players, that's probably what they think. And I'm just like throwing out I know I'm throwing out like stereotypes and stuff, but I'm just trying to explain what I mean by the OSMS community versus the Classic community, because not like I don't think there's a person that's 100% OSMS. Like that's a very rare thing to see. You know what I mean?
Comfy counts as if you're truly OSMS, you can't down jump.
Yeah, that's the litmus test.
The OSMS community. I think Edern FGC makes a pretty important point though, which is like in the Classic community, like people that didn't care about OSMS before the announcement was made, sure they could be casual reboot players or whatever, but there's a good portion of people that just didn't play any games at that time. Like they're just like adults, right?
Yeah.
So we can't lump them all into that Poke Bro scalper community, because a lot of these guys they shouldn't like they like the game, but they aren't as passionate because they have other stuff going on. They don't follow it as religiously as most of us do.
Yeah.
And you can't really fault them for that. So I think it's not fair to just call the entire Classic community bandwagoners, because if you're going to advertise, you're really hoping to get some people out there to see what product you're offering. So I think it's a pretty healthy balance between the two. I definitely do see OSMS people being passionate, but at the same time, they're kind of like, they have a little bit of that, I was already here before you, so you gotta listen to what I got.
It's like Unk, like boomer Unk status almost when it comes to the OSMS community. They're
exactly. They're the Unk status people.
They refuse change, and they're not willing to hear you out. But at the same time, I feel like some of the really diehard Classic community is also, there's a lot of nerds in the Classic community. I'll say that. Not that that's a bad thing. That's just an observation that I've had with being chronically online and stuff, right?
Honestly, bro, like between the two, personally for me, I put both of these in F, bro, because I'm gonna be the best player ever. I put myself in S. I'm gonna just make an icon, put myself in S, and then everyone else can go into F tier.
Say that again. I was looking at chat. What was the tiers again?
Everyone goes into S. Everyone goes into F. Everyone goes into F.
Both the OSMS and the class. Like this?
Everyone goes into F, bro.
Okay. I'm down to put it here. What I would have done, if like this might be controversial, but this is kind of what I would have done. right here. But for the sake of clickbait, we're gonna put both of these guys here because both of them are annoying. At least the vocal minority, the people who fucking comment, bro, like some of the most vilest shit, bro. You hurt my feelings, man. I hope you know that. Like, damn. Um, and it isn't just these guys. You know, I've had to ban plenty of OSM's purists too. And what I really don't like is when somebody doesn't agree with me, they make it their like life mission to like ruin my day, and I don't know, that's just some crazy energy, and I
Yeah,
really
I
don't
mean,
fuck
like
with that.
at this point, it's beyond OSMS versus Classic. It's just like the Reddit mentality where people just they spend so much time online. They really want to make their point heard, and it's like that. I won't be satisfied until you see you kind of go down on one knee type of
Yeah,
mentality that
yeah.
we just really don't appreciate. I don't get to face as much of it because I can't be fucked.
I mean, you,
I don't go
you
online that
bro,
much.
you live a life, bro, outside of the internet world.
No, but I do understand that these exist, and I think it's going to be a problem when the game comes out, right? Because there's going to be so much discourse of the changes. Uh, there's going to be people unhappy about the game. There's going to be people unhappy about creators like Johawk, who's out here putting his life on the line, telling you guys what he feels,
do you
telling the
do, you-
game
do you
how it
mind if I
is.
interrupt for like a quick
Yeah,
second?
go ahead.
You don't have to believe me, but the number one biggest inspiration and the reason why I still post is because I do appreciate that there's people out there who can look beyond my criticisms of the game and my personal opinions and realize that when I create content, it's for entertainment. It's for you to watch something that's worthwhile of watching. It's not fucking slop. I hope you just realize that. Like, no matter what people say, ultimately, I'm here to be a YouTuber. I'm here to be an entertainer. I'm not a Maple YouTuber. I've been doing YouTube since I was like 6 years old, and I just that's it, man. Like, I really hope like you get that fact straight in your head. If you don't understand, man, because hey, I be hearing what people say, man. I'm chronically online. That's all,
You be hearing what you gotta say, man. You gotta watch out, man.
and I be
Watch the spit.
remembering names too. I be remembering
I,
them. So at me.
I mean, from my perspective as an outsider, as someone who doesn't go online that much, the way I see it is there's already so much discourse and so much unhappiness in this world where everyone's like attacking each other or sharing opinions online and all that stuff. We're here to play a game. We're here to enjoy each other's company and enjoy what the game has to offer. So if you have something to say, just say it. Like you don't have to,
Yeah,
attack or shut someone down. Like we appreciate all opinions. If you want to debate with us, go ahead. Like we
yeah.
want to hear what you have to say. Maybe you can change our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it in a nice and humane way instead of straight out lashing at people, and you won't both be in F tiers. Honestly,
Or
they probably
yeah,
are both in
yeah.
F tiers,
Facts.
but yeah,
But
is what it is.
as it stands, bro, we can change. We can do better, and that includes me and Red Snowshoes, which is why we're back here. I know our last week episode was a bit, it was a bit off the cuff. We just kind of let it out, right? Our emotions and what we really think. So with each week, we're trying to improve ourselves. We're trying to bring better discussions, better content, try to get more interactive, interactive with the chat, with the community and stuff. Which is why you should definitely leave a comment. You should join the Discord if you want to talk with us more on a personal level. We're always active in the Discord. Link in the description. And I think this was it was a good stream. We really discussed, we really let this tier list slide. There's a lot more S tiers than I thought there would be, honestly. I think
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff would have been an F, but I'm glad. I'm
Do you
glad
wanna
that
do you wanna move? Like now that we're done, do you wanna move anything around?
honestly, I think it's perfect as is. Do you want to move anything around?
Uh, this is might be just me being funny, but
Yo,
I would move Inkwell and Nemi to like the top of S tier, bro. Like I
fuck
would I
it.
would keep it there
Yeah.
and just let people see that we have so much faith in these guys that we're literally putting our lives. Okay, think about this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The amount of people that will be taking time off to play this game,
Mm-hmm.
all the hours combined together that they're gonna be taking time off to play this game, it's gonna be 10 times the amount of life expectancy of both Nemi and Inkwell. So we're putting so much faith in their hands to
Right.
give us a good time that I think we have to hold them accountable to deliver on what we're all expecting. So I'll just put it as
Yeah.
tier, right?
Sure. I agreed.
I mean, the community is divided. Do we think Inkwell and Nemi is going to do their job? And people don't know. I think they would. Some
Mm-hmm.
people don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to give them the
The
benefit of the doubt
benefit of the doubt and just
to really
trust.
deliver us a great game. So I think that deserves there. Uh, Magician, I feel like it's a little high because they did got the classes, but I will keep it there just
Sure.
because I don't feel like it's healthy to making a magician mandatory for anyone to play. So I think it's good. I really hate the thief changes. I really hate the warrior changes. I think C is us being a little generous, but I
Mm-hmm.
understand why it's there. Um, and everything that's an F.
I mean, yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
we move the communities to B tier just because it doesn't. It's
sure. You
neutral.
know
You
what?
have good
Yeah.
people,
Sure.
you have
Sure.
bad people.
Yeah. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. This is like this is not just, we're not picking out just the good and picking out just the bad. We're thinking from like an overall perspective, and these should be over here, right? Low key, these should be over here, but we're not there yet. And this will always be subject to change as time passes. And honestly, I feel like we could do better, but that's just me. Um,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
if you want to do this tier list, by the way, link in the description. I invite you guys to make your own tier list. Maybe make a video of yourself doing your own version, because I'm sure people have their own opinions on stuff. That would be awesome. Be sure to let us know if you upload something like that. We'll shout you out, etc., etc. We're curious. We'd love to talk more about Classic Maple with you guys over the because we got a couple months before we get anything right. I believe they announced the online testing to be starting in April. That means we got like 2 months to wait. Oh my god, that's just gonna be so many days of just speculation is what's gonna be happening.
Yeah, just speculation.
Yeah, so
It is what it is, man. Well, wait. I mean, maybe they're taking some of this opinion and they're trying to implement it before the closed beta comes out. Who knows what they're doing within the month's time? But just gotta wait.
yeah, definitely.
All right,
But
man.
I'm
Well, I gotta
done.
take off. I don't know if you want to continue, but dude, I'm absolutely starving. I ordered these like two quesada burritos earlier, and they
Yeah.
put so much hot sauce on it, so I gotta make rice, mix it in, and probably just die.
I bet,
I'll,
yo, enjoy your dinner, man. I was
thanks,
gonna
man.
stream. I don't think I'll stream. I think this live stream went a bit too long for my liking, so I'm just gonna head off. I'll probably just chill out for the rest of the night. I'll also go eat. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the
Thank you
rest
guys.
of your Friday night, and let us know. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on Monday, and you'll see both me and Red Snowshoe, aka Cuisine, next Friday for the next discussion on Classic
And
MapleStory.
remember, Joe Hawk said he's gonna make a Dexless sim regardless if it's viable or not. So hold
This
him
is a
accountable.
promise. This is a promise. You can call me out if I end up dropping the Dexless shtick. Go for it. I've already full sent it. If you watch my streams, you already know this.
I bet. All right, guys, have a good night.